Hi all, this is Tanmay. I am faculty at Insights. Thank you for the tremendous response that you have given for last video. It actually motivates us to do more and more videos to fine tune your preparation. We know that you people have been tirelessly working for a couple of months in order to clear prelims. At these disparate times, you may feel isolated, you might feel demotivated, or probably you might frightened with the fear of failure. However, this situation also provides you an opportunity to explore yourself and take out best out of yourself. We believe that you probably at least gone through NCERT, standard books and current affairs at least for one time. So the next 60 days will actually decide whether you will be in the mains list or whether you will be out of the mains list. So you need to prepare or strategize the next 60 days very well. Otherwise, whatever the things that you have done so far would be in vain. So you must know what to do and what not to do in the next 60 days. Ideally, you need to know the do's and don'ts of next 60 days. So let's get started. This video consists of two parts. The first part talks about 59 days and the second part talks about one day before the prelims and prelims day. Most of the people who are appearing for the first time have unconsciously or consciously built up pressure mindset in their mind. They believe that they are well behind experts. There is no concept of expert or freshers in UPSC preparation. Both have equal opportunity to clear prelims. So take out that fresher mindset entirely from your mind. The next thing is believe in yourself. Whatever it may be the negativity in the market, you always believe yourself. You are extraordinary people and you have been tirelessly working from last couple of months. So make sure that you always live in the positivity. You have all the capability to clear the prelims. Make sure that the same idea will pop up in your mind at each and every point of your preparation. The third thing is you should restrict to minimum sources. We believe that you have gone through NCERT, standard book and current affairs. Make sure that you revise the same thing again and again. In the next 60 days, at least you have to revise for 3 times. The whole idea is minimum resources, maximum revision. The fourth thing is you should not add any new source into your preparation list. Although we tend to get distracted by the new materials coming up in the market, ideally we should not switch to new sources at this point of time. As I already mentioned, revise the source that you have already done at least one time for maximum number of times. If you have not gone through the current affairs from the last 3 to 4 months, make sure that you cover that through any compilation. The fifth thing is on investment and dividends. If you analyze last 9 years paper, most of the questions are from economy, polity, science and environment and some aspects of the current affairs. You should focus more on these subjects. It doesn't mean that you should not study ancient India or art and culture. However, you should make sure that more focus should be given on this subject because these subjects will give you the rich dividends. And the sixth thing is test series. We believe that at least you have gone through one test series or solved one test series. If you have not solved at least one test series, make sure that you will be solving one test series on regular basis in next 60 days. Don't take too many test series. Restrict yourself to 1 or 2 test series. And one of the most important thing that you need to be aware of is don't worry too much about your scores. After taking any test, analyze the paper in such a way that what are all the pattern of mistakes that you commit, which are all the areas you are weak at, or whether is there any issues with the time management, and you will also come to know new things, relevant things through test series. Make sure that you will revise the relevant new things through the test series. So don't worry about the scores too much. Rather than that, analyze the mistakes that you commit, analyze the weaker areas and try to fix them on regular basis. And the next big thing is always keep previous year papers, especially from 2011 to 2019 with you, because somewhere you will go out of the UPSC way. There must be a direction in your preparation. These papers will guide you at each and every point of your preparation so that you will work within the framework. That means according to the demand of the UPSC. And the next thing is CSAT. Most of the people neglect CSAT. I have seen many friends who have scored exceptionally well in the paper 1, but they have miserably failed in paper 2. Make sure that you dedicate at least 1 hour on CSAT preparation. Don't rely too much on comprehension or quantitative aptitude. Make sure that you cover these two topics comprehensively by dedicating 1 hour each day. The part 2 talks about last one day and exam day. Well before the prelims, you must be very confident. Although you have not revised couple of topics or although you are not sure about couple of subjects, you should always have one thing in your mind, that is, I will be clearing the prelims no matter the difficulty level of the paper. You must be very confident and you should maintain calmness for the last day and the exam day. You should make sure that you free yourself in a such a way that you can make logical guess on examination day. The second big thing is you should not treat the prelims day as D-Day. It's just another day in your preparation. If you keep on thinking too much about D-Day, obviously you will get nervous and you will feel extremely pressurized. So, in order to maintain calmness, you should treat prelims day as another day in your preparation. So, we have seen many people who actually decides the number of questions they going to attend in examination hall. Ideally, we should not decide on it. We may have some range over number of questions that will be attending like 75, 85. We should not ideally decide the exact number of questions we will going to attend, because the paper vary in difficulty. Based on the difficulty level of the paper, we should come to a judgment. Before attending the paper, make sure that you fill your credentials properly in OMR sheet. So, probably you may encounter 5 to 10 questions that you are literally not aware of. At that point of time, you should not feel underconfident. Just tell it to your mind that these are all different and difficult questions. There are other 80 to 90 questions just waiting for me to get answer. Those questions will be easy questions. So, make sure that you don't get demotivated or underconfident because of just 10 first difficult questions. There are other 90 questions that are actually waiting for you. So, it's better to do rounds. Ideally, people do 2 to 3 rounds. Don't sit on single question for longer period of time, and make sure that you will be attending short questions in first round, because it will give you it actually gives you an idea to take risk, like number of questions that you can attend or intensity of risk that you can take after attending couple of rounds. Most of the people will stuck with 50-50 syndrome. So, most of the people that we have witnessed try to go with their intuition. That means they take subjective decisions. In especially 50-50, we should not take any subjective decisions. The 50-50 syndrome can be easily addressed through objective analysis. So, if you are committing on a particular option per se, if you have conflict between A or C, you have to ask too many questions like why you are choosing A, because it must be substantiated. It must be substantiated with valid reason, logic, example, or at least common sense. Then only you should commit yourself to a particular option. So, the next thing is go through each and every question. You should not ideally leave the question if you are not aware of the topic. Just go through the question, each and every line of it. You will get some clues or you will get some weak links or weak areas. So based on those weak links or weak areas, you can use your common sense to eliminate the option. Try to use your existence knowledge in order to eliminate certain statement. Finally, eventually you will be getting the answer out of it. Never leave the question for sake of not knowing the topic. Go through the question, you will get some hints. Many of the questions in UPSC can be easily solved through applying common sense. Make sure that you apply common sense in generalized questions, and also don't try to overanalyze the things. We often tend to feel that UPSC will not ask such kind of easy questions. At that point of time, we will try to overanalyze the question itself. So don't try to commit such kind of trivial mistakes. So the next big thing is bubbling affair. Ideally, one must bubble the questions once he is done with first round. You will be making 2 to 3 rounds. Make sure that you bubble the known questions once you are done with first round. Don't keep the bubbling affair at last stage of your examination, because you will be left with only 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Probably you might feel anxiety at that point of time. So you might mistaken some questions and you probably end up marking wrong answer. And few people predict the cutoff in the examination hall itself. Never ever try to predict the cutoff in the examination hall. Sometimes assumed higher cutoff in the examination hall compel you to attend more number of questions, although you are not been aware of those questions itself. At that point of time, you will end up with higher negative marks. And try to take calculative risk in the examination. If I quote my personal example, so I am relatively good at economy, polity, science and tech and environment. I usually take too much risk in those subjects. However, I play a defensive game while I am attempting art and culture and ancient and medieval India. Likewise, you people also have stronger areas and weaker areas. Based on that, try to take calculative risk. Don't try to dodge each and every question that appears in examination. And don't try to search key answer between paper 1 and paper 2. We have seen many people who search for the key answer in the gap period. Instead of that, try to take complete rest, or you can revise the key formulas which are largely important for CSAT. Never ever try for search for key answers in the gap period. With respect to the CSAT paper, try to focus on accuracy rather than attending too many questions. Anyways, you need only 66.5 marks to get eligibility. So make sure that you bet on accuracy rather than solving too many questions. Ideally, you should solve 40 to 50 questions, short questions without fail. Then border issue. So after writing prelims, you will get expected or predicted cutoff. Some people will be in the border. No matter where you are, make sure that you dedicate entire time for mains preparation without searching too many key answers or predicting cutoff on your own analysis. So far we have understood some of the important aspects that we have to keep in mind for the next 60 days. Don't try to apply all these pointers on the prelims day. Make sure that you apply all these pointers in each and every day preparation. You should practice it and internalize it. So if you apply these pointers and you rigorously follow all the takeaways, I will bet you nobody will stop you from clearing the prelims. I repeat, nobody will stop you from clearing the prelims. At the same way, say it to yourself, nobody will stop me from clearing the prelims. Thank you.